It's been a long time since my last rifle course, and so when Aero Precision approached me about taking a course at the famed Thunder Ranch and renowned instructor Clint Smith, I jumped at the opportunity to get good instruction, but there was one caveat to this whole thing. We were going to build the rifle before we were going to shoot it. Aero Precision brought me onto this event to demystify the AR build, and I think that's exactly what they did. It is a soup to nuts build. It's a stripped receiver. This is actually my first complete build from the ground up.
First step done, install the trigger and the safety selector, and I've got about 8 hours worth of work to go. Go ahead.
Brent Brevant, B-R-E-N-T, last name B-R-A-B-A-N-T. It's French-Canadian. I apologize, it's atrocious. So what I'm gonna need you to do is put this into this.
Okay.
And I have a super sweet device that we created for you to be able to do that.
What?
To set that pin. So,
really?
So we have it built for whatever size gas block you have, 0.7 all the way up to whatever sizes.
Right.
And you slide it in, turn it against so you have a hard surface. You'll slide your gas tube in,
right,
and then you'll have a surface to
and then you just turn
actually
it.
Tap that pin in.
All right.
With the right tutelage and the right parts and the right tools, you can get this job done really easy. Far easier than I actually did during the class, because it was a difficult build for me, because this was my first complete build. I've changed out receivers, I've changed out uppers, I've changed out grips, I've changed out buttstocks, but this is a ground up build for me. And so fumbling around with little small parts was not exactly in my wheelhouse.
Build it right the first time. The first time is the most important time, and doing stuff over and over like I've been doing has been really beneficial, and it's actually been eye-opening to understand like there's a process and the steps that you go through, but 100% tools. Tools, tools, tools. Get the right tools first. Here she is, brand spanking new, built from the ground up. And I'll be honest with you, it took me a little bit longer than most of the students in the class, just because I wanted to really take my time, and you know what? I was fumbling around quite a bit with some of the smaller parts. Now all that's left to do is shoot this, take a class from the guys at Thunder Ranch. Can't wait to shoot my new build.
We hit the ground running. There was no introduction to an AR-15 or anything like that. You knew this rifle from the ground up. You put it together with your bare hands, and now it's time to put this rifle through the ringer. And we did just that with a ton of different drills.
Anyone can pull the trigger. We see it on a daily basis. It's not hard to pull the trigger. The problem is to think the process through. It's a perishable skill. It needs to be hammered consistently if you actually want to do it. And you can't tell me that you won't be in a fight for your life at this time next week any more than I can tell you you will. So all you have to ask yourself is, how will you train? Malfunctions, okay? So I have a question for you. If you shot your pistol, bang, and you pressed the trigger again and went click, what would you do to your pistol? Why would it be different with the rifle?
Running some malfunction drills, which I'll be quite honest with you, I don't run often enough, and Clint's given us a little bit of wisdom here, is even if you have a good gun that runs really well all the time and you never have to clear it, that's the time when you actually need to be practicing malfunction drills, because you get out there and what happens if your pristine gun malfunctions? You're not sitting there going, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Look at your handgun that you almost all have, and almost all of you shoot more than you do your rifle. I need for you to look at the commonalities. So this school is not just about you building a rifle, it's about giving you an ideology about what's gonna happen in a fight. So I need for you to think about commonalities. They have a muzzle, ejection port, mag well. Gravity is your friend. Anytime you can keep the rifle parallel to the ground and or the pistol, gravity is gonna help you flush it if something goes wrong.
You're
I'm
holding
making him
it.
nervous now.
You're holding it. You're holding my mag. Don't hold him, man. Just sit. That way you have both your hands, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So like, listen to him, okay? Smart guy here, okay? He's doing a good job, all right? He's doing a good job in class, all right? So like, listen to what's going on.
He's so intimidating. We're moving into a kind of a tourniquet drill, or I guess a medical drill. But the tourniquets, it's interesting because they say, you know, buy reputable tourniquets, whether it's soft T, cat, rats. They use Cat 7 tourniquets, and as they were talking, they were telling you how to set them up, which I thought was actually really interesting because I am thinking to my bag right now, and I know one of them is set up 100% correct, and the other one is halfway set up. I've had to apply one tourniquet in my life. I never want to do it again.
And I'm going to be looking for anything that's going to soak through his pants, any kind of clue I can find where it is. Right there, right there.
At least buy me a drink first.
Pistol, most of the time people who shot by pistols, they don't even know they've been shot by a pistol till the fight's over. Or they're dead, you know what I'm saying? Rifle, you will know you've been hit, okay? You will know.
How long do you think mentally you can stay in the fight to get one on you before you start losing your faculties?
3 minutes at best.
No, 30 seconds, guys. You're gonna start losing your shit in 30 seconds. Your goal is to get these tourniquets on one-handed, in the dark, eyes closed, under 30 seconds on you. Everybody, oh, I can put it on somebody else. No, shit's hitting the fan for you. Can you get it on under 30 seconds under duress?
One of the more difficult drills that I actually encountered was the injury drills. That, you know, he would call out, okay, your left arm is down, mag change, get back in the fight. And so I'd drop that hand and then I'd fire a couple shots and then I had to do a mag change. But running these drills, it's difficult, and you learn how to manipulate your barricades, you learn how to manipulate, you know, the gun on your shoulder and how to get that magazine out of there. But drills like these can be an invaluable resource to you only if you run them.
Okay, or drop it, clear the...
So optimally, brother, I would come out of that sling. Once I'm hit, I'm gonna come out of that sling so I can manipulate it without strangling
One
myself.
arm, come out of the sling.
Completely? Yep, bring it up.
There you go.
The gun loaded, self? Is it loaded? Is it loaded?
Find out. Click.
Oh man.
What do you have to do?
Still
What's
not loaded. Now cycling. There's a difference?
Yes, sir.
The Punisher? Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Punisher. Running a course of fire like the Punisher is really different, and it puts your mindset in a different framework. You know, you're shooting out of a phone booth, you're shooting through like a tailgate, you know, you're shooting around all these different obstacles that you might incur in an urban environment. It makes it really difficult, and you can see the application process through the entire course. But once you get in it, you stop thinking about, you know, what you're shooting off of. It's all goes back to basics, and understanding what you learned before translates directly to the Punisher.
One of the biggest things you can learn about running a course like this and running everything is your gear. If you're gonna take a shooting course, a fighting course, I don't care what it is, your gear is gonna tell you a lot about what you're gonna do. Over there, went for a mag change, normally, small on my back, pull it up, went to get it, I was on the ground, it had shifted all the way over here, so I went small on my back, nothing's there. It's right there, but I'm out of breath, I'm torched.
If this is gonna be your first AR-15 build, if you're looking to get into that building mindset, if you wanna take it from the ground up, you've gotta have the right tools, you've gotta have the right parts. Now, after that, once you start, it's gonna be tough. There's gonna be some challenges, and I know you're gonna get frustrated, springs are gonna be popping, pins are gonna go through, you're gonna lose a few parts. But I think at the end of the day, you're gonna realize it's fun, and you're gonna be left with something you're gonna be definitely proud to take to the range.